So here we go. How to graph. It says on the axis below, make an appropriate scale and graph exactly one cycle. So that means they want to see, you got to tell them what the period is, right? The trigonometric function, notice it's a cosine, so I'm going to start with a peak. So how do I find the maximum? So you start at the midline. So where's my midline? My midline is 9. And I'm going to go up whatever you have here, whether it's a positive or a negative in the front. We don't care about that. Just take the absolute value. So from 9, I'm going to go up 3. What's 9 plus 3? So that's what the max is. And then from 9, I'm going to go down 3. What's 9 minus 3? That's the min. Cool or not cool? And then the period, this is the B. So you can either look at it and be like 2 pi over whatever. So that's the period is 16. Or you can do 2 pi divided by B. It does not matter to me. However you think is easier. 2 pi like that. And then you're going to do keep, change, flip. 2 pi times 8 over pi. Notice that the pi's cancel out and you get 16. And that's my period. Are we okay?
Yes.
Okay, when you type this, yes, what's up?
Do we have a calculator, or would you prefer us to learn how to do
You'll have a calculator, so you can use a calculator too. All right, guys, now real quick. This is the entire period from one peak to the next peak. You're going to break it down into quarters. So that means whatever you get here, you're always going to divide that by what? 4. So that means each quarter is whatever that number is divided by 4. So in this case, each quarter is 4 long. That's my delta x. That's what it is. Does that make sense, guys? So here we go. I'm going to type that in, 12, 6, and 16. So I'm going to come here and let me type 12, 6, and 16. I'm going to push next. And then notice it says plot 5 points. Your first point, because it's cosine, is going to be at 8 to the right. Notice they're being nice every time that when you move from the x-axis, they're going by quarters. Do you guys see that? So you're going to go 8 to the right, and you're going to go to the max. What was the max again? 12. So I'm going to go 8, 12. So 8, 12, way over there, you're going to put a point right there. And then every time you go 4 to the right, that's a quarter. So from the maximum, you're going to go all the way to the midline. So there it is at 12, 9, boom. And then from the next one at 16, you're going to go to the min. So 16, 6 point. Then you're going to go back to the midline. So at 20, back to the midline. And then finally at 28, back to the max. Bam. And then there it is. And it's going to do it's going to finish it for you. If it's wrong, you would see that these won't connect. But it's perfect. So there it is. And I push submit. And then voila. And these are the hardest it gets. It does not get harder than that. This is level 5. Does that make sense, guys? Do you want me to do one more?
Yes,
okay. Yeah, you know what? Let me do sign. So let me click new problem until I get a sign. So here's the sign. You guys ready? So I go to 30. So 30 plus 40 for the maximum. What's 30 plus 40?
70.
So I put 70 for max. And then I go 30 minus 40. What's 30 minus 40? Negative 10. And then the period. So it's 2 pi divided by pi over 10. Or if you think about this, how do you get a 2 pi there? 2 pi over 20. So the period is 20. You can do 2 pi divided by pi over 10. Keep, change, flip. Right? Are we? I put, there we go. Is everyone okay with that? All right, I push next. And now check it out. You're going to take that 20 and you're going to divide it by 4. What's 20 divided by 4? So that means each quarter is 5. And notice, look, they're being nice. 5, 10, 15, 20. Do you guys see that? So they're going by quarter. So you go to 15 to the right and you start at a point of inflection going up because it's sine and I have a positive in the front. So where am I going to go to? What value? 15. 15 to the right. And I'm going to go to the 30. So 15, 30 point. Do you guys see what I did there? And then I'm going to go 1 to the right. And then there's the point of inflection. The next one needs to be a max. So at 20, I'm going to go to 70. So here's 20, 70 point. Then the next one is a back to the midline, point of inflection going down. Are we cool?
Yes.
Then the next one at 30 is the minimum. What was my minimum? Negative 10. So negative 10, bam. And then finally at 35, I'm back to the midline. And then check it out. It's gonna graph it for you. Bam, bam. And these are as hard as it gets. These are the level 5 ones, see? And then I push submit. And there it is. Okay, let's do one more. One that has a positive or a negative in the front. So do they have any with a positive or a negative? I'm clicking. I'm trying to find one. I guess they're not going to give you one that's a negative. Okay. All you got to do, if they give you one that's a negative, if it's cosine, you're going to start with a min. because what does the negative do? It turns max into mins and mins into max. And if it's sine, instead of a point of inflection going up, you're going to get a point of inflection going down. That's the only difference. Cool or not cool? All right, we're done, guys. This is optional if you want to do it. It's also on the test, so you know if you did the test, that's fine. The sample test. So do the sample test. Ask me questions that you don't know. I'm gonna delete it Sunday because we test on Monday. Does that make sense? So take advantage of that. What's up, Miss?